Biodiversity is everywhere, even when we can't see it. With almost 3 million visitors every year, Gatineau Park is heavily used by people, and that can quietly change how wildlife lives in the park. As part of an ongoing biodiversity survey, Francesco Jansen from the Canadian Museum of Nature is using an exciting new cutting-edge technique that will help survey the life that lives in and around the waters of the park and monitor our impact on it.
Currently, I'm here in Gatineau Park at Lac des Sources, and we're here to take a water sample using this pump from Ocean Diagnostics that was generously donated by Random Access. We use this pump to collect a water sample from the lake, and in the water sample we analyze it for eDNA, which is environmental DNA, DNA that we can find floating in the water. So here we're working in Gatineau Park, and the big question is, where can we find species at risk and invasive species? Using eDNA, we can determine what species might be living within this lake without having to capture them ourselves. So this reduces the actual effort required to sample all of the possible fish species within the lake. This is also important for species at risk, where they're typically very low in number, and so it might take a lot of effort to catch even one specimen, whereas eDNA might find it on the first sample. So we took 3 water samples from the lake here, so that we can then use them in the lab to analyze any DNA that's floating around in the water. Inside the filter pack is a little filter paper that we've run the water through, and this captures all of our material that we're trying to analyze in the lab for DNA afterwards. You can see all of the material that we've captured on our filter paper, and this is what we analyze later for DNA for species at risk and invasive species. In my opinion, this is definitely important work. For one, we're looking at the conservation of species. As we know, the world's going through a lot of climate change, and a lot of that is driven by human influence and human impact. And so, especially with respect to introducing predatory sportfish species that we're talking about here in the park, it's important to know how much we as humans have influenced the natural environment. And when you lose pieces of the environment, the food chain, the food web, etc., that can have unforeseen impacts on other species that we find within the park. Once we lose the diversity that we have, especially in a park, an area that's been designated to protect species, we never get it back.
Environmental DNA gives us a unique way to study nature quietly, by listening to the traces life leaves behind. By combining the philanthropic initiatives, cutting-edge technology collaborations, and research leadership, this work helps ensure these ecosystems are understood and protected for the future.